What's up, YouTube? Been a long time, huh? Man, it's been such a long time since I vlogged. I'm gonna be a little rusty with my words, people. Pardon me. Since 2020 or 2021, my last video, I believe it was a workout video of me and my brother. I think that was the last video I vlogged. So since then, a lot of stuff's changed. I mean, a lot. So I don't know, life, you know, life kind of takes you different ways and all that good stuff. But since the last time I vlogged, a lot's happened, man. We got a lot of catching up to do. First things first, we're going to talk about what you guys see here. What we have here is a 2024 Aprilia RS660. It is my first bike. I've had it for, say, 3 months probably. Today, we're going to kind of drive around. Don't know what I'm going to do or where I'm going to go, what we're going to see, but I am going to talk about what led me to buy this bike, and kind of how I went down the path to making the decision to owning a bike in general, because that's a fun little story and maybe you guys can relate to it too, and maybe one day you'll get your bike or pull the trigger. Don't know if I want to go highway or if I want to go some back roads. Oh God, somebody please fix it, it's gonna fall over. One evening we were at my sister-in-law's house, and my two brother-in-laws, they have these mini bikes. They got an infatuation with mini bikes, dude, and they had them sitting out there like, dude, you gotta ride this thing. I'm like, no dude, I'm good. They're like, no man, it's fun, you gotta ride it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, seriously, get on there. So long story short, got on there, rode around with them, you know, about a half hour or whatever it was, and it was really cold too, man. Froze my balls off, but parked it in front of the garage and I was blown away. I was like, man, these things are fun. My wife even rode it. She agreed. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. So long story short, we bought two mini bikes. So we rode them. We rented the cabin down this spot called Hocking Hills here in Ohio where we live, and we rode them on trails and even on the back roads. And we're like, I kept thinking to myself, like, wouldn't it be cool to ride these on the road and not like have to worry about getting harassed by the cops? So that led to me looking into Honda Groms. It took some talking to my wife into, right? I don't know if she was really comfortable because she never rode a bike before, like shifting the gears. We bought two Honda Groms. We started riding. This is like March of this year. Yeah. We started riding them around, and they were cute. I mean, they were fun, like on city roads and stuff like that, but you couldn't get on 270 or you couldn't get on Route 23, which are two pretty, you know, common roads that you drive when you're up here, but you couldn't really ride them. As much as you wanted to, you couldn't, because the flow of traffic, even though the bike I had could go 73 miles per hour, at the end of the day, you got to be fully tucked and maybe a slight incline. So I didn't feel comfortable with not being able to escape from traffic or cars passing me all the time. So I started getting this idea, like, what if you get a bigger bike? The wife totally was not on board with this at all. She was just like, what do you mean? We thought we was going to keep the Groms for at least a year before we buy a new bike, but I was already ready. But anyway, people, that is how I ended up getting the bike. Yeah. Now you're wondering, well, why did you choose the Aprilia RS660 and why did you start out on a 600? I was looking at the Kawasaki ZX6R. That was a strong contender. I was looking at the Suzuki GSX 8R. That was a strong contender. Mainly because of comfort, man. It looked sporty. It looked like a sporty bike, but it had a comfortable seating position. And I was looking at obviously the Ninja 650. But man, a lot of people were like, it don't have power, and I wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if power was what I wanted. All the people said start with a 300, 400, then work up to a 500 or a 600, and then eventually to your leader bike if that's what you're looking for. Me, I was kind of on the fence, but the 8R was definitely a strong contender. 650 eventually got eliminated out of my decision. And I really wasn't even looking at Aprilia. I'm going to be completely honest. I was looking at the R7. And so I had to sit down and ask myself, like, what is important to you? And number one for me was comfort, man. Guys, what I do for a living is construction. I'm in concrete. Done masonry for like over 17 years. My back is completely wrecked. I've done it for a long, long time. Comfort was a huge player in what I wanted. Now a lot of people think, well, why don't you get a Harley or a Sportster or a Sportster, but whatever. Guys, I knew I didn't want a Harley, and not to mention, bro, I did not want to pay 30, 40,000 and up for a bike. That's something that I just didn't want to do, so that kind of pretty much sealed that. Oh, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Look at this guy. Let's follow him. This guy's fearless in the Civic, boy. Look at this guy. Let's see what his next move is. Maybe he's got a poop. Oh, shit. right, so sorry about that. Let me get back to what I was doing. You notice I picked the Civic to race, right? You're not keeping up with no SRT Dodge, you know what I'm saying? Even though comfort was my number one, looks was a big part of it. Obviously, I wanted something reliable. I know, crack all the jokes you want, because I ended up getting an Aprilia. Obviously, a liter bike, that's like suicide. You start out with a liter bike, bro, like, what are you doing? I knew that ain't what I wanted to do. I ran across this channel, I'm sure everyone knows, the Miami Noob. They were doing a review of the 2021 Aprilia RS660. And everything they were saying about it, I was like, wow, that's kind of the bike I want. And even though the review was on a lime green one, that spurred the idea to start looking into these bikes. Yes, they have reliability issues. The RS660 engine's only been in production for 4 years. And and I knew they had their issues, man. But in fairness, so do a lot of bikes, man. You look at the 2022 BMW S1K, that is having a lot of issues. The Ducatis have their issues. The Yamahas have their issues. Outside of a Kawasaki or a Honda, Suzuki, I mean, the exotic bikes are going to have their issues. Now, I'm not saying that they're worse than Aprilia or Aprilia is worse, but I knew what I was getting into as far as reliability within Aprilia. But that RS660 kept speaking to me, man. I loved the way it looked. So I wanted the black one, and I wanted both wheels painted that lava red. That's what I wanted. I was really considering getting that white Ninja ZX6R with the red wheels. I almost got that one, man. But at the end of the day, I didn't pull the trigger on it, man, because this bike here, one of the main reasons why I got it is the electronics package in this is just as good as any liter bike you can buy. It's got the six axis IMU. It's got the cornering, traction control, ABS. It's got cruise control, people. Look, no hands. It's got cruise control. That was huge, man, because another bike I was considering was the Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX. Even though that is a liter bike or a 1000, it don't hold nearly the power of the ZX10R. Not even close, because I think it comes in at 43 horsepower, but it has a different rider modes, definitely has cruise control. I was actually considering that one too. At the end of the day, I'm just like, I just couldn't fall in love with the looks. I love the looks of the ZX6R. I love the way that bike looks. The 636 has an awesome reputation. It's pretty fast. The engine's bulletproof, so I almost got that one. But when it came down to it, the Aprilia RS660 for a 600, this bike cannot be matched as far as electronic packages. And I knew I was going to need cruise control, man, because I wanted to go on a little bit longer rides. So I knew I was going to want it. I ended up going with the Extrema. And the reason why is because I like the look of the SC Project exhaust. That's why I decided to get this trim model, the Extrema. This comes in at 100 horsepower at the crank. You're probably getting maybe 90 at best to the wheel. And so I knew it wasn't super duper powerful. It's very light. If you do get this bike, I highly recommend. One, if you just go with the 2-year warranty, do not flash it. Don't do it. I got the 5-year warranty, guys, and this thing only has 2,000 miles on it. At 1,300 miles, I had to replace the engine. Long story short, the Aprilia didn't even want to pay Iron Pony to like investigate. Rightfully so, but she's looking to go to the at least a 650. And eventually, I told her, eventually you need, I think the best bike for her to end on, continue riding, is the Kawasaki 636, the 636. So, now that I'm in the neighborhood, man, I'll go ahead and end the video here. Shout out to all y'all that stayed. Hopefully y'all give this thing a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. But yeah, man, this is what we're going to try to do, man. We're going to try to keep these vlogs coming. be consistent, and my journey through buying a bike, owning a bike, and then see where it progresses. Who knows, man? There's gonna, you know, any mods I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start recording them. Yeah, so anything I do to the bike, I'm gonna record. If I do upgrade to a 1000 next year, it's gonna be a video. So stay on this journey with me, man. It's gonna be exciting. And so yeah, like I said, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.